I actually think, I go so far as to say that Stephen Cluxton dictated the All-Ireland final today with his kickouts. At half-time, well, we said where Dublin were, not playing particularly well. In the second half, Mayo had 7 scores and 1 wide. That's my notes tell me anyway. So that led to 8 kickouts for Dublin. They won all 8 of them. We're watching them here, one after the other. He's nearly putting them down the mouths of the Dublin wing-backs and midfielders. And this was always a worry for me, if he started going long and out to the wings, that the pace of our midfielders, especially if they were tired, that they were going to struggle. And you have to really think in depth about where you're going to position yourself when Cluxton starts to do this. We're talking about this, Ciaran and I, earlier on, and Eamon, that normally the midfielder will take the inside position, you know, and keep the opposition midfielder wing side. But when Cluxton is actually, as you say, slicing to the wings, you actually should take the outside lane, so you have a step on him. Because there's no, if it goes down the middle, you don't mind, there's plenty of bodies in there and you can get plenty of heat on the ball. But in the second half, just to finish the point, Ciaran, sorry, the Dublin kickouts, they're almost non-contest. And I mean the ones that were kicked 60 metres were nearly long contest. And that's how good Stephen Cluxton is. He's dominating the kickouts.
The most significant point, Des, was that he had gone very short in a lot of the games, and they obviously knew Mayo would push up and they'd pressurise that, and they'd done a hell of a lot of work on it. And I think not only Cluxton deserves a massive amount of credit because they were spot on, but the half forwards guys worked very, very hard to break out those flanks. It was very evident that there was something that they had put a lot of detail and time in.
Okay, well, let's bring in Marc O'Shea in that, because Marc, Kerry really pushed up and did well on the Dublin kickouts in the semi-final.
Yeah, well, it's no secret nowadays. I suppose it was well documented the week after the game in the papers, but certainly we zoomed in on his kickouts, and I suppose we stayed in our positions, and you know that I suppose the half-backs tried to move out of that area, leaving a space for the midfielders to run into, and we probably zoomed in on that, you know. And I suppose the Dublin midfielders didn't have, or the Mayo midfielders weren't clued into that today, you know. And I suppose from a Dublin point of view, they were looking at the Kerry match, and they probably realised that they needed to improve, so they definitely tweaked that. And I mean, today they were phenomenal. Cluxton's kickouts nearly reached his target the whole time.